Hey, it's Mark. And what's in these two envelopes is going to redefine what it means to hand make things and why it's so important to make things by hand. First, this envelope. This envelope contains my handwritten newsletter that I used to make back in, man, when was this? 2017. I literally would handwrite newsletters to anybody that would want them, and I would send them out to people in the actual mail. Yes, from July 2017. Then, as time went on, I would have people guest write articles, and they could promote their businesses, and we would even have little activities for people to do on this newsletter. And I would get such joy out of hand making these newsletters because I know what it's like to not get good mail, so I wanted people to get good handwritten mail in the mail instead of just like bills and stuff like that. And so these are handwritten newsletters. I stopped doing it when I got to about 120 people on the email list. It just got too big. So what I did then was I would make one and I would leave a little place at the bottom for a handwritten note, and I would write each handwritten note for each participant. I want to start doing this again, by the way. But what's in envelope number 2? Let me show you. So I met this guy about 7 years ago, call it. He's a big dude, like he's really tall, big beard, and he is a presence when he walks in the room. He is one of the kindest human beings I've ever met. His name is Scott Marvel, and I met him because I was shooting a video, and it turns out he is the president of a huge video production studio in Chicago called Daily Planet Productions. But that's not what's cool about Scott. What's cool about Scott is that Scott always wanted to be like an anonymous street artist, but he really didn't have the skills to do like the mural painting and stuff like that. But he also always loved to screen print t-shirts. And so what he would do is he'd make little drawings, he'd screen print them on t-shirts, he'd roll them up, and he'd leave them around the city of Chicago and give them away under the name Teetsy. He'd say, hey, here's a free shirt from Teetsy. Then one day he's leaving his office in downtown Chicago, and there's a homeless person asking for some money, and Scott's like, I don't have any money. And the guy's like, I'm just trying to get some clothes. And Scott's like, well, I have all these t-shirts because I screen print t-shirts. Would you like some t-shirt? And the guy's like, yeah, give me like 3 mediums, 3 smalls, and 3 larges. Scott's like, okay. And he goes upstairs and he gives him the t-shirts. And then he doesn't see the guy, except for like a week or two later, he bumps into the same guy. And Scott's like, hey, did the t-shirts help you? And the guy's like, yeah, I sold them. I made all this money. Then Scott kind of had an idea. What if he screen printed t-shirts, gave them to homeless people to sell, and that way they could have a job and they could have money? Well, fast forward a few years later, Scott is the founder and president of a nonprofit called Giveashi, which has local artists make designs. Scott then hand screen prints these t-shirts in his basement in Chicago while still running an Emmy award-winning video production studio in Chicago. And then the t-shirts get sold all over Chicago, and all the proceeds go to a nonprofit called Streetwise. To date, Scott has Give a Shirt. They've raised something over like $200,000 and given it to Streetwise. They're amazing. But that's not why Scott Marvel's amazing. Here's another reason why it's amazing, and it's in envelope number 2. Every year, Scott Marvel and his company, Daily Productions, hand screen print an annual calendar, and they mail them out to people. So mine just came the other day, and oh, is this cool? And this is it. I haven't seen it yet. This is it. Bring it on, gather up. Sorry, here it is. This is what the hand screen printed Daily Planet 2024 calendar looks like. And what's beautiful about this is you can get little day planners, and I still use my Google Calendar and other things. But when I look at this calendar, it means something because it was made by hand. An artist drew it, an artist sketched it. Scott hand screen printed them in his basement, and he chose the ink and he moved, I don't know what the thing's called in the screen print, but he actually made this by hand with love. And I love this. And here's the deal. Scott sent me, how many did he send this year? All right, I got 2 of them. So here's what I'm going to do. One of them is going up on my wall. The other one, I will mail to whoever comments on this video, whether it's on LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever you see this video. If you want one of Scott Marvel's Daily Planet hand screen printed 2024 calendars, let me know. And if you're the first person to comment on this video, I will mail it to you and you will get some good mail from me with love from Chicago. And so the big thing here is whether you are hand making little letters to send to your friends in the mail, whether you're making beautiful annual calendars to send to clients, customers, and friends throughout the world, start making things by hand, because the more you make things by hand, the more you use your hands. And the more you use your hands, the more you use your mind. The more you use your mind, the more you use your heart. We need more things with heart. We need more handmade goodness in the world. So go ahead and write your friend a letter. Go ahead and get one of Scott's calendars. And thank you for watching. With love from Chicago, it's Mark. Hope you have a great day.